Good afternoon. Here, back working on the shed project. You can see we're starting to wrap it. Still got another row up here, put in, start the row on the top right there, as long as it overlaps. Just making sure that everything overlaps. I wouldn't typically wrap a shed, but in the future, this may turn into a guest bedroom for my adult children if they come to visit or something like that. So we are going to wrap it and insulate it and everything like that. So I'm going to continue wrapping here. I've got one more layer for sure that I got to put on. Then we're going to start right here with this window and install it. We're going to try to get that in today. Let's get to work. So this is something I picked up on YouTube the other day that's actually very, very handy. I don't know why I hadn't thought of something like this in the past. So basically, I'm just going to get the bottom of this roll relatively close to where the line is going to be here. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to clamp right below that. Now it's going to stay put. Once I get started, I'll tack that over here. All this loose stuff I'll tack. And then all I'm going to do is just walk around the house, set it on the next corner, and it'll basically hold where I need it to be. Secure it, make sure it's fastened properly, and then continue on. I'll show you here as we go. The shed is wrapped, but the windows have not been cut out the way they're going to be completed. They're just, I've pulled everything inside, kind of double wrapped it. I don't want to get a bunch of wind and start tearing stuff off of here, what we have accomplished. So it's kind of rolled and stapled inside of each of the frames, or the framing opening for the window. We're going to cut everything back and have an integrated system for the windows for the install, but I'm not sure if you can see the shadows. They're starting to get pretty long here, so I kind of sealed everything up, got everything kind of closed up as much as I can. I'm going to start picking up tools and get ready for closing up shop for the day, and then we'll get going again tomorrow. All right, we've got the shed wrapped. We're going to start installing windows here. First one I'm going to do is this eastern window right here. For the method that I'm using, I'm integrating everything into the window as well, so that it's all going to be basically one unit with the sheathing and with the wrap and everything. I watched a good YouTube video. Shout out to Country Living Experience. The way he describes this and explains it is very helpful for me. And so I'm going to follow that method and use the same method he does. I'm going to put a link in the description below. So we'll get started here. Let's get to work. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is cut this wrap right along the header here, just to flush with the header here. And then I'm going to fold it back. I'm going to cut a 45-degree angle on both of the corners right here. And then I'm going to fold it up and just staple it up here so it's up out of the way. So the reason we're going to cut this way and not fold it is that for if some reason, if somehow or another moisture got behind this vapor barrier and it were wrapped, it would come down to this low point here and it would go under and it would just sit on that vapor barrier right against your wood stud right there. And you don't want any moisture or anything right on your header. You want to get all that moisture and any kind of condensation, water, moisture, however, you wanted to get away from that header here. So you're going to cut it right here. And as I said, we're going to cut 45-degree angle approximately on both sides, approximately 6 inches. Then we're going to take that, hold it back and staple it up here. Next, I'm going to cut down about 2 inches from the interior outside, about 2 inches all the way down and remove that. So to create our sill pan, we're going to use adhesive flashing. We're going to measure the bottom header of the window opening, and we're going to measure up 8 inches on both sides. We're going to cut that adhesive flashing to fit that section right there. One thing I did want to point out is that all of the windows we're using on this shed are repurposed. They've come out of different buildings that we're getting rid of. So all of the windows that we're going to be using are basically what suited our need best for this shed. We kept other windows for other projects that'll be upcoming. Anyway, all of these windows are repurposed and used from something else. Okay, we have the sill plate in place. You can see it covers the entire section there. I've got a couple shims in place. We're getting ready to set the window in here. We're going to dry fit it first, make sure that we have the right number of shims or whatever, so we aren't going back and forth when we actually have caulk on it. Once we have this window where we want it, and we're pretty confident that we'll tip it out and we'll put caulk on it, put it in place, stand it up, and secure it in place for sure. All right. Yeah. Left and right. Okay, so hold on. Yeah, we're not worried about that right now as much, okay? So I was trying to tell you earlier. I know. Okay, so what I need you to do is I'm going to lift. Hang on. I know. A little bit too much. Okay. That's even more too much. It can't be. Okay, well. Okay, hold on. That's where we started. Right, that's way too much. I realized that I went smaller and you told me it was too much. Okay. So now you have me going the wrong direction again. So I'm going to take some back out. It's the other side. I don't want to, listen, I want to go up on there. If I come down here a little bit, if I need to go up on this, I will. How are we now? It is a full bubble and past this line, not quite to the second one. Now it's just over this bubble line, but not quite in the center. Okay, so give me a second. Okay, you're going to have to let me slide the window a little bit. That is basically dead of the center. Okay, so let me come out there. You got to do it side. Correct. So there's a glob of goop here. Don't hold the window. You've got it. I'm just going to check the other side. Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. We should clean it up a little.
No, this has actually got to be there. It's that seal. Okay, that's...
Oh, that's almost...
Well, yeah, I have it off a little.
What if you put it on that? Well, no, because that's all hokey too.
Bubbles on that side. Bubbles on that side needs to go this way. So I need to take a tiny bit out. This window frame isn't quite square is the problem.
That's not a real big surprise.
Right, they're all just old windows. You're not going to go any more than that. You're going to have to hang on a second, okay?
So yeah, I was just riching it a little because sometimes when we were putting the other windows in that had frames like this, we literally on the ground were kind of like tapping them and wiggling them back and forth. Because they trip.
My honey knocked my drink down. I just left it. Oh, you did too. Let me go inside here for a second.
I think the one thing that we need to recognize is that even though that space is about good, this full window would be better off if it was higher because we're right at the edge of the plywood right here as far as screwing in. Like it's going to not be all the way through the wood here.
Okay, so give me a second. From the looks of it, this is now high.
Which way does it need to go? To move the bubble over, does the bottom go down or the
Yes, the bottom's got to come down a little bit on this side.
And what you should do is raise this side, because that will get you onto the wood.
Okay.
So we may have to raise them both a little. Yeah, now this one is still the nail hole right here is still really...
Okay, that's fine. I've got to come, whoops, not that far. Okay.
Good if the whole window came up like 3/8. A little bit far, but...
No, it still needs to come up a little more on that other side. You want it to come up, you said, right? Okay.
I meant the level of the top. Oh, yeah, when you close it up there, that's best.
Still needs a little more on that other side. Okay, now I want you to notice, though, the same thing down here.
I don't know what we do about that.
We're all right. Okay, now I just put in a little too much over there. So, because that side is now high, so I got to find a happy medium there. Good thing I had all these shims cut already, huh? What do you think?
That looks beautiful. Check the other side. It is a shed after all, but
What do you think?
that's beautiful. Now am I going to check the top? Oh my goodness, it's so close.
I would call that good then.
It's just that much off.
I can't see.
There.
Move your hand.
Probably an 1/8.
Yeah, I would call that plenty good. What about setting it here? What's it look like? You can find one that's like really thin.
No, it's the other side. Bubbles on this side.
Okay.
That's basically dead center.
You're satisfied with that?
Now you gotta check the other bubble.
But you're satisfied with that?
Yeah, it's like dead center. Literally dead center.
That's close enough for me.
Now we just gotta get
I gotta
it
pull it
stay there
down.
after we put on all this stuff.
We got the sill plate in place. We dry fit it. We got some shims here that we are going to just set it directly on. Once we dry fit it, we put some caulk along the top edge and down the sides, but we did not put anything on the bottom. That way, if any moisture does happen to get in there, it'll have a place to escape. We don't want it staying in the house or the shed. How far am I?
Okay, no,
Which way? I don't know what you're saying.
out.
Out.
Yeah, this bottom was connected. Okay, great.
Okay. Do I need to come?
No, it's this part. The nail section is on the windowsill instead of down from the edge.
I can't touch the window. Yeah, right. I'm not sure what you're doing here. Oh, I see. Okay, I see. Okay, come switch sides with me. Still good?
It's pretty good.
Okay. You got it? Oh, I'm on that bump. Yeah, that's good. So, what's in here, though? What's in here? Here. We don't want caulk all over the gun, too. Here's your dead hand. Doesn't have to go every hole. About the middle of the window will be fine. I'll put in a few more once you get that in. Careful, it's glass, all right? Okay, we started by getting the sill plate in. You always start at the bottom and move up. We leveled the window, got it where we wanted it. We caulked it, fastened it in place. And we used our adhesive here along the sides. You don't put anything further on the bottom, as I was corrected. We don't put anything additionally on the bottom, but you do put the adhesive all the way down the sides, all the way up to that corner that you cut out that was the 6 inches at a 45-degree angle. Goes all the way to there. So you do the sides, both sides. And then at the top, you put a layer across the top. Then what we're going to do is put a small dab of caulk along there. We're going to put a little bit of drip edge so that if anything happened to get anywhere in there, it would go across the drip edge and come across the top of the window. And we'll put another layer of the adhesive, and then we'll bring that, that house wrap back down over the top, finishing it up. All right, first window is installed. Everything looks good, sealed, ready to go. So I got the sill plate in this one. Everything looks good. Everything's protected. We'll get that next window out here tomorrow. We'll dry fit it and get it where we want it, and then we'll get it installed as well. Good morning. We're back at the shed project, trying to get these windows installed. Working on this south window now. We're going to install this, and then I've got to go to work for a couple of days. So this is about as far as the project will go for a week. So we'll get this window installed and show you a video afterward. Let's get to work. Okay, just kind of a final here for today, and I guess this video. We've got 2 windows in. You can see, again, as I said, these windows are all repurposed from other older buildings and different things like that. We've got them all in, secured, fastened, taped, and sealed. It's done like you would shingling. You start at the bottom and you move up. You may notice that like directly here underneath, this is not taped or sealed, and just that is just to ensure that if something on the craziest whatever happened to get in underneath the window, it would have a place to escape. So you don't put anything under here. Bottom, same thing. So anyway, here we are. We've got 2 of the 4 windows up. When I get back home here in, I don't know, 2 weeks, 10 days, 2 weeks, whatever it is, we'll get the other 2 windows in and start working on the siding. There's the one window. And there is the second window. It's probably, as I said, it's overkill for these windows for a shed, but we don't know, who knows in the future what this may be used for or whatever. So we'll just make sure it's done right, and then that way, no matter what it's used for, it's going to be in good shape. Sure appreciate you watching. Thank you very much. Have a great day.